This report, due to earlier difficulties, we're just going to roll through this and keep it pretty chill. I appreciate all of you being here and alerting me to the other technical problems. So this is a redo. Those that had to suffer to that, my apologies. And to the many comments that were like, man, they really like to mess with this guy. I'm not making this stuff up. So let's just get started. We're going to do the crisis report. Hopefully it's all good. Thank you, SRD. This is your crisis report for February 13th, 2025. President Donald Trump reveals that Reuters received $9 million from the Department of Defense to study large-scale social deception and demands they return the money. Elon Musk has officially called for a second American revolution to liberate the people from opposition by the bureaucracy. Okay. CBS News reports that the Biden administration has privately admitted that Ukraine will have to give up some territory to achieve peace. Yes, they will. And this one is entitled Ukraine's Future Uncertain. The reason why is because they don't know. Trump and Putin are talking, but they're not really including the Europeans. We'll get there. RFK Jr. has been officially confirmed as the HHS secretary in Donald Trump's administration. Outbreak of tuberculosis has caused panic in Michigan, Ohio, and North Carolina. B-52 strategic nuclear bombers have arrived in the United Kingdom as tensions have heated up in the Middle East between Trump and Iran. United States intelligence analysis concludes Israel seeks Trump's administration support to attack Iran, the Wall Street Journal has concluded. Secretary General said the conversation between Trump and Putin creates the impression of the beginning of negotiations on Ukraine. Ruth added that the absolutely supports peace negotiations on Ukraine. Sure you do. Netanyahu's office denies reaching understandings with Hamas on humanitarian protocol, according to Al Arabiya. Netanyahu's office on reaching understandings with Hamas is fake news. Yep, because basically they're saying that everything's going to be fine on Saturday, but Netanyahu's like, no, we're still pushing for all of them. So we'll just have to see. This is that World War III idiot guy. This is how he got all this wrong. So I'm just going to take you through this. He basically, whenever he gets a chance, he blames everything on Orange Man Bad and right-wingers, when honestly it had nothing to do with any of that. And so there was a terrorist attack on a leftist protest by the VEDR.DI labor union in Munich. So they're having a protest, and he calls them leftists. And they're in Stiegelmeierplatz. And he says that there was a ramming attack with a car, left at least 20 people injured because these people were just hoping for better working conditions. So there was a protest, but they're at a beginning of a security thing, committee or what gathering, big major thing. Marco Rubio's going there. Okay. So there's a security conference, and this guy gets in his car and he drives through all these people and hurts about 20 of them. He gets arrested, and the suspect of the car drove into a crowd of people in Munich, and then according to the police, it was a demonstration by the trade union, and police seen this Munich's Stiegelmeierplatz at around 10:30 a.m., currently 15 victims, could be related to far-right extremism, this guy concludes. He goes, oh, it's far-right extremists. Doesn't have any clue on it, but he says this is what's going on. It's far-right extremists. Makes that claim. Has no clue. Oh, what's that? Oh, the car ramming attack by the leftist members of that labor union? Well, it was a 26-year-old migrant from Afghanistan. It's an asylum seeker new neighbor. And he drove into the crowd in Munich. At least 28 people have been injured. And why did he do that? Why? because there's a big security conference with all the major heads of the Western nations, like Marco Rubio, coming together to talk about all that. And he wanted to go there and make his mark. Rafah crossing is now managed by the European-led multinational force to evacuate Gaza residents to other countries, according to Netanyahu's office spokesperson. Ansar Allah, leader al-Houthi, if the Americans and Israelis go in the direction of the aggression against Gaza on Saturday, before or after, we will immediately respond with military action to attack the Israeli and American enemy. The United States has imposed sanctions against the International Criminal Court prosecutor Karim Khan. This is a prosecutor who issued the arrest warrant for Putin. Okay. The United States is committed to creating a more deadly NATO, says the Pentagon chief Hegseth. The United States made it clear to Zelensky that Ukraine's fate has already been decided without him, according to Bloomberg. And this is where the whole thing has been up in the air. Basically, Trump and Putin are talking, and Trump's just doing the deal for him, saying, you know what? I'm going to get all this going. You don't really have any clout anymore. You're losing territory, and you're just going to have to hashtag deal with it. So European Union members are not really happy about this whole thing because they basically want to see if they can get into a fight with Russia. So, and that's not to absolve Russia of invading Ukraine. They did that, and there's been problems ever since. But there is an off-ramp, and they're choosing not to take it because, well, you do your own due diligence to why you think that's going on. Financial Times on European concerns regarding Trump-Putin deal. They fear that the United States will make a bad deal with Putin to end the war, and Ukraine will be left with a bill, the newspaper writes. Well, I mean, what do you want them to do? They're not coming to the table. We got to get something started because people are still dying, and now you're trying to tap into the 18 to 24-year-olds. Zelensky realizes that he will not have a single word in the issue of ending the war, according to Die Welt. Ukraine will not accept any bilateral peace talks without the participation of Ukraine and European partners, according to Zelensky. So, the British Defense Ministry is absolutely outraged at the moment at the American and Chinese attempts to cut Ukraine out of peace negotiations in their own conflict, reports The Telegraph, according to War Monitor. So, yeah. Europe will support Ukraine if it does not agree to the terms or the peace agreement concluded between the U.S. and Russia, head of European diplomacy Kaja Kallas has said. The enemy may destroy our nuclear facilities, but it cannot stop us from building them. That's according to Iranian President Pezeshkian, who's basically really unliked there and about to be pushed out. But he's trying to be a peacekeeper of sorts, and he's, kind of the more, I don't want to say liberal. That term is so loaded. He's just kind of not your typical hardliner, like the regular Iranian presidents, and it seems like he's trying to make it so things abate, but the hardliners in Iran want to get rid of him. We'll see who wins. Energy prices in Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia soared by 20% after disconnecting from the BRELL Unified Energy System. After a federal judge ruled the government's downsizing efforts could proceed, about 75,000 workers signed up for the buyout from the Trump administration. New administration has promised to pay their salaries through October without requiring them to work, though unions have warned the offer is not trustworthy. Russian drones attacked Danube ports in the Odessa region bordering Romania overnight. Strikes were reported at the port of Reni in the Odessa region, where freighters and ships carrying NATO military equipment for the Ukrainian army dock. Explosions were also heard in Odessa, Poltava, Kharkov, Charniv, Mykolaiv, Kiev, and the Dnepropetrovsk regions. The Ukrainian armed forces reported that Russian forces launched 140 Shahed 136, 131 drones against Ukraine on the night of February 13th, 2025. Cha-cha, thank you so much. At least 5 dead and 7 injured in explosions at a store in shopping mall in Taichung City, Taiwan. Wang Chung tonight, or you can Tai Chung tonight, your choice. Largest nurses union in Australia has released a statement condemning the vile video of an Australian healthcare professional saying that they wanted to take out Jewish people. It's kind of a big story down there. So, and these people were like featured in all kinds of numerous like promotional materials and everything else. And he basically said, or they basically figured out that, this guy has been saying a lot of ill shit online. Local authorities in Germany have announced that at least 20 people have been injured in a stampede in Munich. The incident comes hours before a major security conference and event attended by senior world leaders. So no, it was not some guy, some crazy right-winger trying to take out a leftist protest. It was an asylum seeker trying to do damage to what he thought were the first semblances of this security conference. So, that guy. Shocking European countries. They have been completely left out of the negotiations between Trump and Putin. No one is even updating them. And that's what's going on. Like, no, they're not literally, like, they're not updating them. They're not telling them what's going on. It's just, is what it is. Just in, the USS Harry S. Truman has collided with a merchant ship off Egypt's coast. The USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier collided with the merchant vessel Besiktas M near Port Said Egypt at 11:46 p.m. on Wednesday, according to U.S. Navy officials. Details on the extent of the damage remain unclear, but the incident raises serious questions about operational security and naval coordination in the region. IDF confirms that we attacked military sites of the terrorist organization Hezbollah containing weapons and launchers which pose a direct threat to the Israeli home front. Washington and New Delhi have reached an agreement under which the United States will become the leading supplier of oil and gas to India, Trump said following talks with Modi. The United States and India have agreed to work on creating one of the largest trade routes in history, which will run through Israel and Italy, according to Trump. Lee Zeldin, the Trump administration Environmental Protection Secretary, just announced that he has canceled $50 million budget for the Climate Justice Alliance in light of the organization's statement that climate justice happens in a free Palestine. Great news out of Washington. In a bipartisan effort, multiple senators affirm that Hamas cannot retain any political or military control of the Gaza Strip. And that is according to Lindsey Graham, Richard Blumenthal, Tom Cotton, Jackie Rosen, and Katie Britt. I'm truly sorry for interfering with chat, but I was attacked. Thank you for your hard work. Hopefully you were only verbally attacked and not really attacked. If you guys, I've gotten, I already seen some emails and stuff. Be good to each other, okay? Nothing will throw a channel off worse than you guys like attacking each other. Just listen to what I'm saying and listen to the intel, okay? Any kind of personal thoughts or anything like that, take it out to another chat room or whatever. Here I go through and I tell you about all this stuff because I want to take it seriously. This is important, world-changing stuff that's going on. And if we're kind of going through doing petty crap in the background, not that I'm accusing any of you of doing it, this is just a general statement. Please. So, all right, let's move on. Thank you, Cha-Cha. Very kind of you. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's plane, which is on the way to Germany for the Munich Security Conference, turned around for unknown reasons. Seems that there was a little... I don't know, there's accusations that this kind of stuff happening is on purpose. So, just saying. Numinous, good job, man. 97.5 on your AP exam, that's excellent. 99 on the lab practical. Thanks for listening. It's late and everyone else is asleep. Hey, good for you, bud. I'm in the business, so whenever I hear students work hard and get good grades, I think that's wonderful. Excellent job. All right, moving on. Trump on Taiwan. Taiwan took our chip business away, and we want that business back. Yes, we do. Ukrainian President Zelensky has called for the West to send a 100,000-strong military force to Ukraine. President Trump says DOJ will be auditing the IRS for corruption and waste. After meeting with Tom Homan, New York City Mayor Eric Adams issues a new executive order allowing ICE agents to operate on Rikers Island. So, yeah. Good night, Cha-Cha. May we see you again. Border Czar Tom Homan fumes, hints at potential legal action against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for teaching illegals how to avoid apprehension. Okay. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's plane, which is on the way to Germany for the Munich Security Conference, has turned around for having cracks in the windshield. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, we hope that Arab countries have a better plan than transferring Palestinians out of Gaza. The only plan available to us is to transfer Palestinians out of the Gaza Strip. We will look at the plan of the Arab countries will present regarding Gaza and see what its content is. Returning to fighting will not solve the problem in Gaza, so we will give Arab countries time to present a plan. Arab countries will return to us with a plan on Gaza after their meeting in Saudi Arabia. I hope that we can reach a good plan on Gaza with the Arab countries and present to the President Trump. So basically, it seems like this whole thing was by Trump just a way to kind of force everybody in the room to talk, if I may. Maybe I'm wrong. Trump administration begins mass layoffs across multiple federal agencies. This is covered over on PrepperNow. They're talking about culling almost 250,000, 250,000 people that are of the probationary status. So I'm sure in other things, when you start off a job, they don't know who you are, how you are, what you are. So there's a probationary kind of level. Well, in the government, it's up to 2 years. Trump just went in and said, you know what, if they're under 2 years old here, let's get rid of them. So we'll see where that all goes, but that would bring a lot of people out, and that would bring the total of people leaving the government at about 300,000. Now, according to estimates, there's 25 million people in the government, and it's one of our largest employers. So, not really sure about all that, but we'll see. As reported by the Washington Post, so it's pretty much happening. An asteroid nearly the size of a football field now has greater than 1% chance of hitting Earth in about 8 years. Such an impact as the potential for city-level devastation, depending on where it strikes, CBS reports. I mean, football field, it'll kick up some dust. It's like a nuclear going off. President Donald Trump has begun firing the remaining federal prosecutors appointed by Joe Biden. Good. Get them out. Trump's HHS Secretary RFK Jr. says informed consent is necessary for vaccines. So, Federal judge blocked Trump's order curbing youth gender transition treatments because that's just such a necessary and needed thing. RFK Jr. accused the nation's health institutions of stealing the health of our children and suggesting that they should meet the same fate as USAID, which has come under heavy scrutiny after Trump's administration went after them. United States' decision to freeze its foreign aid funding is forcing United Nations agencies to lay off thousands of people, according to UN officials. Now, I didn't really have a lot of love for our government officials getting laid off. I have absolutely zero care. No FUCKs are given for them laying off officials. Don't care. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has called on the parliament to declare a state of emergency in Ukraine due to events of the last 24 hours and statements from the United States government. This request comes in response to United States President Donald Trump's recent announcement regarding peace negotiations with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, which Scholz views as undermining European security and Ukraine's sovereignty. He emphasized that any peace must be lasting and not dictated, warning that only Putin would benefit from a decoupling of European and American security interests. And AP, a judge has ordered Trump administration to temporarily lift the funding freeze on U.S. AID abroad. And RFK Jr. has been confirmed as Secretary of Health and Human Services by the U.S. Senate officially. So, that, my friends, is your crisis report for December 13th, 2025. A very rough road to get there, but we did it. So, thanks so much for being here. If you could hit that like button, that would be great. And we appreciate you, coming by and share this out. The late one, I know, but we'll go from there. Okay? So, God bless you all. We appreciate you. Consider becoming a member, or maybe going on to one of the other websites that I'm on, like Truth, Mind, Gab, Twitter, X, or Subscribestar or Locals, because you get some cool stuff there. Haven't had a lot of population lately, but tomorrow I'm going to do a lot of stuff. Like five to 10 a day over there of different things that you should consider. And I got a video that's going to be putting up where this lady from Michigan thinks that you should foot the bill even though she's driving a 2024 BMW. Must be nice. I'm driving a 2008. But I own it. God bless, friends.